Okay, so as usual, for tutorial, you will be answering question according to the names assigned to you. Okay, so you can access this Google Docs from Google Classroom, also from the chat. So after everyone finish, we will do the discussion as usual. Thank you. Question 3. Which one? A or B? Eh, oh, yeah, A or B. Which one you asking? A. Identify three common applications of sound. So this one, what, hold on na, hold on na. Saya pun terconfuse sudah. Check. Hmm. So yang A, identify three common application means what's the use of sound? What are the use of sound in the one that we discussed in lecture? What are the three common application of sound? Why what is the purpose of sound? Okay, and then which two most commonly used in HCI is you give example of from these two. Like I give you one example, like locate things, right? So you use sound to locate things. So what's the example? So if it's locate things, it's not really used in HCI, right? So you find another common application or the use of sound when we apply it to HCI. Got it, Farah? Okay. Okay, Farah. Today I will not ask you to read your answers for today. No worries. Kelvin, you can get from like example for which one? Number B. So B, two examples must be website or software developed by Malaysian companies only. You can get, you can screenshot a website like government site. Maybe you can use COVID now, and then then comment, and another one you compare lah. Like you get one website that is the interface is hard to interpret. You in your opinion, like maybe COVID now, for example lah. Who does COVID now looks like on the web browser? I always access through phone. So like example this one. Okay, Kelvin. So you like screenshot this, and if it's you give your thoughts on this. Is it hard to see, or uh, is it is the interface is okay for the user to understand? So you can find others as well lah, other websites like the PTPTN one and the others. You try find another ministry. There's a lot of example of Malaysian government gov.my. You can find several like this. Is it a good interface? And then if it's not, why? Okay, Kelvin, got idea now? You got the idea? You try first. You screenshot the question. Uh, not all interfaces or display are hard to interpret, right? So you find one that you feels like it's confusing or difficult to see. Maybe like for this one, maybe if some people have different perception or they perceive this differently from other people, right? So you give your own opinion. So this one, I think, to me, um quite presentable lah this one. So you try find one example that you want to comment. Two, sorry. Two. Like this one, like very too wordy. So you can try get this screenshot and put in the Google Docs. Okay? You try first. If you cannot find two, one is enough lah. Sarah, are you having problem with the question 3B? You think of, you can, apa? Distribution or attracting attention. You can like ignore this part. The hold on, you can ignore this one. The the pink color. You just ignore this one. Hmm. Apa? Cari phone. You just you give example of system that you think that should use sound for feedback or attracting attention, that should be using this, like things that need to give feedback to the user but not giving feedback to the user, or things that should attract attention but not giving attention, not giving the sound of attracting attention of the user. I can give you an example of like LCD projector, right? Like LCD projector, like when you, if you have ever like work with LCD projector, you press on the button, but there's no sound coming out from the LCD projector. So in the end, you keep pressing the button, and that one that is like that can make the user frustrated. Okay, Pero, do you get the idea? Um, some yes things system project itu pun sistem kan, software pun boleh. It's a system like any system, like not necessarily software, like it can be like things that system is very general, like um, things yang you think should give feedback but it's not providing you with the sound to alert you as the user. Okay, Farah, you got the idea? You can give one now if you don't cannot think of two. You can give one only. It's fine. Yeah, try dulu lah. You try think of it. Okay, Kelvin, one only is enough. That's good enough. Thank you. Okay, so I think we can start discussing your answer. So I don't, you will not, I don't require you to read your answer for today. Yes, because I don't think we have enough time. So we'll go through your answer together. Okay, is that okay? Okay, so question one. So we have this question, explain the meaning of cognition. Okay, so basically define cognition. Yeah. So this is the term that used to describe interpretation. Okay, so you have the keyword here, interpretation of information in mind. So interpretation of information in mind. So we interpret the information we receive through our senses like our eyes, vision, our ear, um, apa sudah audio, and then touch, to plan for action. Okay, so we interpret things that we interpret information that we receive through our senses, and it will decide the next action that we need to do. Okay, so eyes to scan or read info, and then ear to receive sound, and touch, vision, hearing, and touch. So these three are important in HCI. Okay, so I'll just add on vision, hearing, and touch. So these are the elements that is important in HCI. Okay, so just additional lah. And some interfaces or displays are hard to interpret, usually confusing or difficult to comprehend. So you need to find example of an interface of such an interface, which is hard to interpret or hard to read the information, and then point out the parts which it's hard to interpret or confusing or difficult to comprehend. So explain the answer. So and then you need to uh, recommend how the problems can be solved. Okay. So from here, this is KKM kan, Calvin. So it's KKM, right? So some words are harder to read due to bad contrast. Bad contrast highlighted in right, this one, right? You mean this one? So the white color words are on the button very light blue, making it harder to read. And to me also, this one also, it's a little bit hard to read. Background white, and the font color is light orange. Orange. Okay, so it's a little bit hard to read. And then white background of the website also make it too bright and to look at it comfortably. But of course, always depends to the user. Some people may find this interesting. Yeah, but for to me, yeah, I agree with Calvin. It's too bright and like it's too fancy to me. Important function are almost unnoticeable. Important function unnoticeable due to the small size. This one, right? So this one, so this interface actually, it's giving more attention to this trees, right? So if you look at it, you just see the information about trees. But the most important purpose of this website is like very small at the top there, and it's very small. This one. Icons will direct visitors to important pages, but it is not apparent a visitor that those icons would have such function. So means visitors will not know that this button, these icons will give you more information about the things that is stated here. Am I correct, Calvin? Is that what you want to say here? Okay, so maybe what about your recommendation? Maybe this, because this is KKM, right? I think I don't know why they want to put fancy fireworks here because it's Tahun Baharu in her border. Which part here? Yeah, it's okay. Um, Border this the whole website or the button or the icon or the icon below. Oh, this one, these things here is like isolated, right? So it's like it doesn't have like there's no. It's a the placement is like it's not good, right? Okay, you add in your solution ladder. Can add in later on. Okay, Calvin. Later you can add. We go to the next question. Okay. Noel's part. So visit this link below. Actually, this one is the Gestalt laws we have discussed in our lecture. So we have the law of proximity and also law of similarity. Law of proximity, the name itself, proximity, it's referring to items close to each other, perceived as a single group. Perceived as a single group. And then each group will consider to be distinct and different from items that are further away. So those items that are close to each other, it's in it's in one single group. Okay, so here one group, here three groups. So it is showing you the grouping of the item to show you the law of proximity. In terms of user interface, it is recommended that items that are relevant to each other should be placed closely together. Items relevant to each other should be placed closely together. Referring to 2.2, the user assumes the text label on the left and the textbook on the right is considered different. Like it's too far, right? So it's too far. But for this one, when you look at this interface, it's more convenient for you to see according to if you apply the law of proximity, which items are placed closely, like this text field and the text field and this field name. Okay, and then we have the law of similarity. Several items that have similar attributes such as size, shape, or colors to perceive to be in the same group. Okay, so it can be colors, it can be apps, type of apps. Yeah, um, shape or color perceived to be in the same group, even if those items are not placed near each other. Thank you, Noel, for the correction. Yeah, so similarity is referring to similar attributes like the size, shape, or color. So here in this example that Noel give, this shows you items with different attributes. So attributes here referring to the different background color. Okay, so here this is not applying law of similarity, right? Is this example of not applying law of similarity? No.
Yeah.
Okay, so
No.
this one is items with different attribute. Not so maybe I just add on here, not applying similarity. Thank you, Noah. So I put this one at the next page. Okay. And then to B, comment the two figures below in terms of figure and ground. So we have these two terms in HCI, foreground and background. So we did not discuss this during lecture, but the idea we already discussed. So this is just to discuss on the importance of foreground supporting ground or background. Okay, so this picture here. If you look at the first picture, this one, if you only look at the black color, you will see two faces. Or you only focus on the black color, you will see two faces. But if you look at the white color, you will see a vase. A similar thing to this one. So if you look outside of the vase, you will see faces. If you look inside of this picture, you will see vase. Okay, so it has the same shape but different colors. So depending on how we perceive, how we look at both of this picture, you will see a face or two faces. Okay. Mm, okay, this one is the one I mentioned just now. So in UI, for UI design, it the U if it in UI, the ground or the background should be designed in such a way that it supports the foreground. Okay, so you agree with the statement. When a user is using an interface, they need to determine which item is important, and they should pay more attention to a figure. So in this case, is the foreground, correct? Kamu katakan can
Correct.
normal. Sorry. Foreground kan, and which item they can ignore, which is the background. Okay. So based on the figure this one, 2.5, we can distinctly see the text clearly. Okay, this because there is a contrast between the text and the image. So the text is bright, whereas the background image is gray and blurred. So means here your figure is this text, correct? Ka? Your figure
Right.
is like this, or this one you are being highlighted here. Okay. Thank you, Noel, for your answer. And then the last question, Farah. So this one is about sound. Okay. So identify the three common application of sound. So this one is from our lecture. We have this in our lecture. And then state two most commonly used in HCI. So the two most commonly used is feedback and attention. And for example, we have the ATM machine create a sound of feedback where it tells the user to insert money. And also another one is washing machine where it create a sound of attention. It grab attention of user whether the machine has an error or it's overloaded or not. Okay, so thank you Vera for your answer. And then we have another one, the last one. Mm, feedback or give two example of system that should use feedback or attenting attention. So here you have one refrigerator and microwave. So this is sound should be applied to this refrigerator and microwave. Low current input. Ada kah? Maybe ada kan refrigerator that give sound. Kita mana pernah mungkin ada this mungkin ada tapi yeah we never seen this right, so that's why I give this example. So you maybe a refrigerator if has a local input, I can give a sound to oh you have don't have or have better don't have oh okay don't have. I also never seen it just now when I see you typing this right. I thought you will give a sound, the refrigerators should give a sound to grab attention of the user when they forgot to close the door. That one I've seen the refrigerator like would be like beep beep like that if we did not close the refrigerator. So I think that's also like it's a new. Does your refrigerator at home got sound when you forgot to close? I think it's the latest version, or I don't know. So sound like that also, like if you forgot to close, you are given a sound to tell that you forgot to close the door. Okay. Microwave, other finish cooking, microwave should have the sound where the user opens the lid after it finishes cooking. For example, the microwave should give feedback, sound feedback, berikan sound makan, error, give sound feedback, a sound, sound, the sound. With the tray of food still hot and let the user be aware of it so that they don't get exceeded. And so other things also like I will give just now, like um what's it called? Projector. Okay, if you have worked with projector, like all the projectors that have worked with before this, we don't have sound, like you keep pressing the button, right? You don't know, you also don't know like if it's on or off already, so it should provide sound. And also another one, like vending machine. The answer that I have here, give an example of vending machine. So like for user, I think if you like buy drinks right from a vending machine, how do you know that your drink is already down there? Ada sound juga kan, like, but it's the sound of your minuman. It's the sound of your drink. Right? Yang kadabak kadabang. It's not the sound from the system, right? I don't know why the answer here given example is the vending machine. So it says that here that, hold on, coffee vending machine. So it should have a beep beep sound when the coffee is ready for collection, instead of having to open the small window to check every now and then. Or this one, Nescafe vending machine pula. Nescafe vending machine. Have you all tried to buy the ₱1 Nescafe vending machine? Pernah kah? Okay, so those kind of system. Okay, so I think that's all for today. So as usual, answer the question. Answer. You do again the tutorial. Use your own words to answer, and do submit the tutorial for your individual submission. Okay. So do you have any question before we dismiss the class?
No.
Okay. All right. So thank you so much, everyone. Okay. Thank you so much for your attendance, and I'll see you again next week. Have a great weekend. Bye.